Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Yeah. It is July number 2. The year is 2020 after the Lord. When the Lord was born. 5 years after the Lord was born. So the year was born. The Lord was born 2025 or 6 years ago, depending on what books you read. What's up? My name's Corey Winfield. This is the 217 Recovery Podcast. I'm going to do a whole show as that character one day. And Marnie is with me as well. That's who I was talking to.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing okay. Doing all right.
Good.
Got some topics I want to talk about. A cousin reached out to me and, just asked for some books on some things, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about vaping.
What do you want to talk about vaping?
I keep getting all these emails that they're like, oh, vaping, and it's going to be banned, and I don't know. I'm just need to get off those emails. And do I vape? Yeah, I do. But like our great governor tried to do last year, was it September, whenever she banned flavored vapes or whatever. You can buy tobacco vapes. Like, that scared me, because it really scares me, because I think it opens the door to, well, what else can we put in there? And I know over in Europe, they vape alcohol. And, yeah, I thought about that as a way to get drunk. I thought, yeah, I'll just vape it. Okay, well, that, I guess, bypasses some problems, but I think it creates a lot more. And, the same thing with vaping. Is this good for you? No. I'll tell you it's not good for you. It can't be good for you. It's not an apple, which eating too many will make you cramp up, by the way. You'll be wishing you didn't eat that many, but no, vaping, like what are people going to put in there? And they're probably already doing it. Kids are probably doing it, and it really worries me that, hey, they're taking away the flavor. Oh, I can still buy this, but put some Kool-Aid in there, or put, what's real sweet is Mom's whatever, or I don't know. It freaks me out. Oh, put this in there, put that in there. And like I said, they might already be doing it. Mm-hmm. And if you have ever been in a vape shop, they're very straight up with, you got to be legal age, which is now 21. So they're by the book. The vape shops are, and they're saying, oh, they're getting into the hands of the kids. Well, that is not the vape shop's problem. You telling me you're going to go shut down every Meijer because they sell liquor, because they sell beer? You're telling me that's not getting into kids' hands? Oh, that's different. Oh, is it? Is it? When Mom comes home and she's got the cotton candy flavored vodka, and kid's like, wow, that's awesome. I want some of that. Strawberry shortcake vodka. Oh, yum. Oh, you make a delicious drink with this vodka and Kahlua cream. You put it in here. Oh, it tastes delicious. So you can't tell me that vaping is going to ruin America. And like our governor already outed her on this. She said it was a epidemic, and it's taken over, and blah blah blah. And then she said that 50%, the kids vaping went up 50%. If you listen to the podcast, you know what I'm talking about. And 50%, it went from 2 out of 100 kids to 3 out of 100 kids, saying that they vape. So be careful when they're trying to throw these fake ass numbers at you, because you have to stop and go, okay, let's follow the money. Who is losing money? Who's getting money? Now, is our governor getting money from tobacco companies? Not companies, but there is a guy out there that is linked to the tobacco industry, and he's put quite a bit of zeros in her bank account. So it just makes you wonder, like, where is all this really coming from? Because if they really cared about Americans and our health, there's a lot of places we should probably start with besides vaping. So I'm done now. Let's have a good talk about other stuff.
I don't know. I'll say what I think about. I think the vaping thing I think the problem, well, first off, anything new and exciting that comes out, kids want to try, get their hands on or whatever. And the problem with the vaping thing is either way, how they get it or whatever is still going to be, not by purchasing it themselves. That's just how they get the cigarettes. Have somebody else buy it for them. I guess I can see the attraction there because of like
you don't stink.
You don't stink. It's not like you've been smoking. You smell like cigarettes. Because it's like you can pawn that off on anything. So I guess that part of it makes it easier for them. I don't know. I mean, was it really that big of a epidemic, as you say, or as she said?
I don't have kids. I don't know, but I don't see kids running around vaping like crazy. And like you said, like how are they going to get their hands on it? Who knows? Maybe their parents want them to vape. Mm-hmm. If they're maybe they catch their kids smoking and go, you know what? How about you try this?
Was the first kind of thing that was like the vaping was the e-cigarette, or is that vape? Was that vaping? E-cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those were like really promoted for a while and way to quit.
What we can do, Monty? We can hang out by the schools when they open back up, and we can give them Nicorette gum. Yeah, they ain't ever gonna know. They ain't gonna see that one coming.
Right.
You can do that. Get your nicotine. Here, kids, go chew gum. That's what you're doing it for. And, a lot of the kids, and they used to sell it without nicotine, and then kids could buy it at one point in some states. So, I mean, all I know is when I smoked, I would wake up. Sometimes I would be in the middle of my radio show, and I'd be like talking and be like, Big Dog, 95, nah, and like just stuff would come flying out of my mouth, like phlegm and just, and the coughing. And I'll cough every once in a while, but like nothing like when I smoked, and I don't stink. And, it saves me a lot of money too, because when I would go into the gas station to buy a pack, I'd grab a pop, candy bar, some gum. I was always adding on to it. Mm-hmm. So I saved myself a lot of money just by vaping and, knowing where I get my juice from. And my doctor told me this, and I think he didn't know this was coming, but he said, "Oh, vaping's bad for you." And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Because all the chemicals and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Well, no, it's 2 chemicals, plus the flavoring, and it's food grade." So I'm like, "Yeah, but all the juices, they come from China." And I was like, "Well, see, mine is made in America. So does that make it better?" And he just kind of looked at me like, quit being a smart ass and lose about 50 pounds. And that was when I should have lost 50 pounds, but instead I gained it because I wanted to show him what a big loser I really am, because I want to lose more than 50 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the ingredient. Like, I know it's not, good for you, like you were saying, but I don't know, compared to the additives and carcinogens or whatever they are, and the actual cigarettes, tar, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't see it being worse. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not a professional in that department.
This is a perfect time to try it on the kids, right?
We don't have any results yet.
Oh, they got some kids somewhere just vaping away, doing tests. It's America. Just kidding. So, sort of. So my cousin sent me a message, and she was wanting to know if I knew of any good books. And she's just kind of feeling, well, I read you the message. I'm not going to read the message to the world, but what would you describe? Because I thought she was looking for, she wanted good healing books, help you get over the past, healthy ways to just be happy. And that's such to be happy. I mean, I'm happy with my life right now, and I'm not happy with the vaping situation. And if they ban this and ban that, what are kids going to turn to? What are adults going to turn to? Jesus, like, oh, just a little bit of this and there. Woo, high as balls, like, is this like opening the door to something like, so anyway, so being happy though, and you can't be happy 24/7. If you are, people are not going to like you. They're just not. You're going to be annoying as hell. But I think being happy is a state of mind, and kind of like I told her, there are things, I told her that I think what she's looking for is to get acceptance that her life is exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. The good things that happened to her in the past, the bad things that happened to her in the past are only her decision to determine whether they're good or bad. And some things she didn't like, I'm sure, and some things that she loved. Did she want her father to pass away at such an early age? No. But there's nothing she can do about that. She can remember the great times that she had with her father, and she can know deep in her heart that she was there when her father passed. And I think those kind of moments can define you. But you can't still live in that moment. You have to, in my opinion, move on and grow as a person. And that experience that you went through, I'm sure I'm going to have to rely on her big time one day. And unfortunately, I didn't have that experience. She couldn't really reach out to me. I mean, she could reach out to me if she wanted to talk, but there's nothing that I could have said that would have made anything feel better. I mean, she had to experience that loss and that pain, and that's loss and pain. That's life. But I gave her a book to read, Steve Harvey's Jump, which you might think Steve Harvey is a great motivational speaker. And that book, I read it at a quiet retreat, and it was such a great book. I loved it. And it really motivated me and kind of made me, it was the reason why I probably started this podcast, to jump, to take that leap of faith, knowing that God's got you and that, he will catch you. But unless you jump, you're never going to know. So that was like one of those kind of books. And yeah, the things you did in the past, yeah, okay, that's great. But let's move forward, the good and the bad. He talks about when he messed up the Miss USA or whatever, and read the wrong lady's name as the winner, and had to bring her back. Wait, hold on, nope, just kidding. This one lady won. That's an embarrassing moment, but he had to go through that, and he said he wouldn't change it, and he didn't try to pass the buck and say, well, someone handed me the wrong slip, and it's kind of what happened, but he owned it, and he said he was a laughing stock. Everybody was making fun of him. It was just horrible. But it was a great moment because he could get over it. And I'm sitting here talking about it today still, just as one of those moments where you just want to go run and hide and no one can see you. And, oh, my God. But he just owned it and faced it. And it shows you that no matter what happens out there, it's how you react to the situation and how you act after it happens that really define you. So
I agree with that.
That's just my opinion. But have you read any good books or?
Yeah, you were asking me that, and I think I'd have to go back and look at the books that I do have. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever. I don't remember the last book I actually read like cover to cover, but I think definitely, as far as self-help books go, is there's different things that you want to focus on. Like for example, there's daily motivational books that are kind of just like broad and, touch on something different every day. It may or may not be applicable to you that particular day, but, they're always in some way, shape, or form in a positive, and there's tons of those out there. Some are more like religious based, if that's your thing, if that's kind of something that you're more drawn to. There's some, I think, that are more like meditation sort of focused, thought-based things like that. But I can't off the top of my head think of any like names of any books.
What about just personal experience? Like what are some of the things that you do? She said that.
Well, for me, I mean, I've like compartmentalized a lot in my life, and that can be an unhealthy thing to where like I have my problems that I need to work on kind of like area of my brain, where I kind of like don't touch on that, on a daily basis, but I know it's there and I know it's something that I need to work on, that I'll work through those things with like